And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports One. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Fort here on a Thursday.
That's right,
a
baby.
New York Ranger Thursday.
You fucking know it, dude.
It's Barnes. It's Tony. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, man. Like you said it before the show, perfect weather today. A little warm in here, but hey, man, a cool 61 out there. A little breezy. It was partly cloudy. A beautiful day to hit the course, dude.
That is for certain, Tony.
Yeah.
So we are so jacked for our golf outing. And we'll also today start 2 PGA Tour events. One of them being the Wells Fargo Championship, which is currently in a weather delay. So nobody has hit a tee shot just yet. But not that far away, a state over in South Carolina. The Myrtle Beach Classic is underway. And right now, Sam Ryder with an early lead with Davis Thompson at 5 under par. Both golfers starting on the back and through 8 holes together. So an early start there in Myrtle Beach. And, I'm really excited to see the highlights from that one. As we've talked about, the first PGA Tour event in Myrtle Beach. So that's exciting stuff there for sure. Obviously, like we said, excited to get on the course ourselves.
Not quite Myrtle Beach, but
and I mean, was it 2 years ago or was it 3 years ago? The four of us.
I want to say it was 2 years ago.
Was 2 years ago?
Yeah.
I know last year it was just me and you.
Yes, correct.
And then I had played with Matt, but Michael hadn't gotten in the mix. So nice to get Michael Sunday red, jacked up and ready to go.
Hopefully he's in his Sunday red, dude.
That's what we said yesterday.
That's what we said yesterday.
We have comments for days.
Comments galore, dude.
So let's go.
You're not very happy about the comments galore, dude.
No. Go ahead.
Kev,
Let's go!
We want the smoke, he
Kev,
says. The Pacers don't want the smoke with the Knicks. Big Rangers game tonight. He knows it. We all know it. Brunson is a effing beast. Definitely impressive performance for him last night. Hashtag TCA, hashtag DTV, hashtag the Sports Port. And Michael Buckta for the first time. The 3 years into the Let's Go. Obviously catching the train here.
Yes, he is.
Barnes. Last night I had a dream I was on Santa Monica Pier with a couple Santa Monica XAPs, which is extra IPAs, I guess.
Wow.
In 75 and sunny weather. And of course, the women too, dude.
I mean, Michael Buckta, always been known as a ladies' man.
Honestly, a womanizer, dude. Oh, you dog. He's a dog, dude.
Your bottom dollar.
And then he loves Newport Beach as well. His aunt used to live there, and her mother-in-law lives there now, dude. I know you've been there once.
Michael Buckta, he shoots and he scores.
Scores. Speaking of score, we have Josh B, dude. What up, fam? Let's go, Knicks. You know, he was riled for the win last night. The grit on this team. He says, Rangers tonight, dude. The adrenaline is flowing all through Josh, he says. Hashtag TC,
Josh
hashtag
B.
Sportsport, hashtag DTV. And Kev Dew Taylor and Josh B with the back-to-back Bucktas. Oh, my goodness. So funny, dude. And then Kev Dew says, yo, Bernie kick rocks. Not even here yet. Matthew Gabriel with the let's go. Kev Dew, Josh B, Michael B, go Rangers, go Knicks. It's New York. Go, dude.
Go.
And then he goes, what is Gucci, boys? Oh, so you're going golfing. Gainer Beach. LOL. He says 2 summers ago. And then Kev says, fuck the golf now. Let's talk about the Knicks.
I don't know.
I mean, Knicks obviously impressive, dude.
Yeah.
Honestly, Brunson is like silk on the court, dude. It's kind of crazy.
But but obviously is his ankle like silk? Tony, because I saw him go down, missed the second quarter, but came back at halftime.
Yeah.
And then they had the interview
Right.
after the game, and he didn't necessarily commit, but widely expected to go. OG, though, probably going to be out, which is tough.
Very tough.
Mitch. So a lot of injuries.
Why now you think that they're up 2-0 right now.
No. They'll be fine. But I think it's just they're bruised. They're bruised up.
Bruised up, dude. Yeah, no, definitely. That does kind of suck too for them at this point.
Michael Buckton cannot get off the Southern California.
He says beach show today, dude.
I mean,
let's just talk about that all day.
Unfortunately, we will not be able to do that, but I have to say, I'm ready to go there myself 2 weeks from today.
Kind of crazy.
I will be there, so I know that must be tough for him because I know he's itching. I wonder, has he said when the last time he was there?
No, he is not, dude. Nor did he say the next time he's going.
Yeah, he did not. So I'm sure he will fill us in on that, Tony. But so much to get to. But let's start in the world of Major League Baseball.
What a play! Stop it, Skip. And Alonso cracks one. The Mets win the ball game. Out of sight.
And it works at 100 miles an hour. 14 strikeout.
Drove deep to left field. There it goes. See ya.
All right. So we did get a couple. There it goes. See ya last night. As the onslaught of the Houston Astros continues for the New York Yankees, a 9-4 victory, Tony. And, you go back to last year, and you're talking about 9 consecutive victories against the Houston Astros. So we have absolutely dominated them since that series in September last season. And you look at it from last night, you had Carlos Rodon versus Spencer Arrighetti. Arrighetti had a tough time. Yankee offense making work of him early and often. And just like the previous game, which the Yankees dominated, the Astros did get on the board first. Kyle Tucker again with the homer to right center. I mean, it's almost like he's trying to kind of put his hat in the ring to potentially join the Yankees down the road. It seems like that swing plays with the short porch there, no?
Yeah, it does seem like that. You think he would like that?
I'm sure he would love that. But, unfortunately for him, manning right field, we have Juan Soto, who himself hit one 440 feet to center field in the first inning to give the Yankees a 2-1 lead. Second inning, the Yankees avoid the double play. And I know I said evoid instead of avoid, Tony. So I know you're going to mention that at some point. Josh B already sent me the clip.
Stop it.
But they score on an infield single, so that made it 3-1. Aaron Judge, another home run. You look at the splits recently, he's been absolutely on fire. And he hits a home run 404 feet to make it 4-1. Speaking of hitting a home run and hitting one out quickly, Giancarlo Stanton, it had the hardest exit velocity of any ball hit this year, 447 feet. You blinked, Tony, and it was gone. So Stanton,
did you blink?
Homers in back-to-back games. So who knows? Maybe something is getting unlocked there. That made it 5-1. Soto avoids the double play in the 6th to make it 6-1 on a ground out. Judge with a double to make it 8-1. Rodon lifted after giving up a triple in the 7th to make it 8-2. Jeremy Pena, Tony, with a home run off of Victor Gonzalez in the 8th inning, made it 8-3. Juan Soto, another huge game for him, 3 for 5, 5 RBIs, had his last RBI in the 8th to make it 9-3. And then Ian Hamilton has been spotty recently, giving up a run in the 9th on an Altuve single to make it 9-4, but that was the final score. But your New York Yankees, not only have they won 9 in a row against the Houston Astros, but they've won 5 in a row and are now 25-13. And later this evening are going to go for a perfect 6-0 homestand before they head to Florida, Matthew, for the weekend.
So now, you mentioned Stanton, the back-to-back days, home runs, the laser, the blinking. I mean, do you think he's gonna start picking it up? Because I mean, again, like a few days ago, we're like, you should cut him.
Yeah, well, I think it's just one of those things. I think no matter what, I mean, we're talking 230, 240 on the average. So it's just, can he hit enough home runs to make it worth it? I mean,
what's enough for him?
I mean, I guess it depends what he bats. If he bats 240, I mean, 30 to 35 is fine. But if he's going to bat 200, then he kind of needs to hit like 40, which probably isn't going to happen. But right now, he has 8 home runs, and so does Aaron Judge. So, and Judge, like I said, has been on fire. So, you're really excited about that. We talked about Soto having 3 hits and 5 RBIs. Judge had 3 hits and 3 RBIs, and has been on a tear of recent. Austin Wells showing signs of life as well. 2 hits for Austin on a 2-for-4 night with 2 doubles. So you love to see that. Rodon, nice to see him bounce back after that rough start in Baltimore. Final line 6 1/3, 7 hits, 2 runs, no walks, 7 strikeouts, throwing 100 pitches. So there's a lot to like right now. And it's just yesterday, with Soto, Judge, Stanton, all homering. I mean, that's how you draw it up. And if Stanton's going to be dialed in, I think, it's obvious that it's a major problem, Tony, for their opposition.
Yeah, that's evident. Now, you said over the course of now this season so far and last year, 9 in a row against the Astros. Yeah. How badly do you want this number 10, dude?
It's just one of those things. It's like asking Michael Butka if he wants to go to Southern California, Tony.
I would imagine Michael Butka wants to very much so.
Yeah. So of course that's what we want, and that's what we expect here. I mean, we're clearly the better team.
That's for sure.
They're clearly in shambles, and I know they're going to get some of their pitching back soon. But the offense doesn't look great. Yeah. Alex Bregman looks like should retire.
Honestly, though,
Jose
4
Abreu
last night.
is in single A.
Do you know the deal for Arrighetti? I thought he was supposed to be like a touted prospect, right?
But Tony, I mean, it's
tough lineup. I know, like young pitcher,
he's just not ready. I think is the biggest thing. And the Yankees are going to go up today. An interesting 5:05 start. Obviously, must be with the flight to Florida. Want to get in at a reasonable hour. You're going to get Stroman versus Blanco. Blanco, obviously, the no-hitter earlier this season.
Oh, yeah.
Stroman has been up and down, but overall, I mean, a 3.41 ERA is about what you would expect for him. And, obviously, it's tough to sweep a team. It's tough to beat a team 7 times in a row in one season and 10 times in a row overall. But you have to like their chances tonight. I know Blanco's pitched well, but this Yankee offense is going. And guys that have been struggling like a Stanton, like a Judge, have been showing signs of coming out of that and having something sustainable. So it's a really good time to be a Yankee fan, and you're second overall in the league in wins, and due to I guess Baltimore's played more games, you're right. Even though you have more wins than them, it's like a dead heat right now for the division. I guess they have the tiebreaker based on the head-to-head. But yeah, I mean, I'm just, really excited, and it almost is a parallel, obviously different point in the season, Tony, right now, but it's like a parallel almost with the New York Rangers here, where, where it's, the Yankees are going to show up and have a really good shot to win. And Kev Dew, like trying to chirp. I mean, a little ridiculous. I mean, sounds like, a fan of a mediocre Mets team, which obviously that's the case. He says, Yo, Barnes, can't wait to talk about the Yankees. It's all about the playoffs. Baseball didn't start for me. And it's just, listen, Kev, I mean, it's like, like the Nick thing is cute, but at the end of the day, I mean, it's like, I think we'll need to see a little more before Tony's out of his seat. And we had already talked about that. Yes, we're jacked up about the Rangers, but they didn't play tonight. We're going to preview their game tonight in Carolina. So that's what's in front of us. And listen, I mean, the playoffs are great, but there's nothing like Yankee baseball, Kev. And that's never going to change no matter what. Right, Tony?
Well, I mean, for me, it's kind of not really so much of the case, dude. But I mean, in terms of NBA playoffs, I mean, I'm watching more games. I'm seeing some more juice, Obviously, Michael's jacked up. Anthony Edwards, dude, like even for games that that have nothing to do with the Knicks yet. But it is tough, dude. Again, like I want to be right up for the Knicks, but like we were saying before, the injuries, dude, it's going to be an uphill battle for sure. And then again, like everyone's talking, it's like Celtics next round, like.
And I'm sorry. Like I wish the Knicks well. Like I hope they advance far, but at the same time, if it's Yankees White Sox, Knicks playoff game 7, and I can only watch one. Welcome to Yankee Stadium, Tony. Okay, so I mean that's just what it is, and Matthew knows it. Saying the Kev Dude's tight, and before did we miss some comments up there? That might have been on me, but
yes, Matthew Gabriel. Oh wait, Kev Dude.
Yeah.
He's gonna hide in Barnes's luggage, dude.
Michael
That's so
was there
funny.
August 2022.
The California
but Mike
Beach
going
Show.
August 25.
Bang, dude! Wow, significant layoff. 3 years almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. Matthew Gabriel said the Yanks, let's fucking go. He says, hey, Houston, where's your trash can? How are you? Get a fucking beating.
Yeah, let's fucking go. Let's put them into the ground, Tony. I mean, that's what we're doing right now. I mean, they have the 4th worst record in the league. And let's just say,
It's pretty terrible.
Anything can happen. But I think they are about to get swept by us for the 2nd time this season. I mean, it just seems like the writing's on the wall for that.
Again, I mean, you said it. I mean, it's so far like they're going for 10 in a row, the Yankees against the Astros. They already dropped 2 out of 3. And again, like the Astros shambles.
Yeah.
Like it really is kind of crazy. And again, I guess it's been coming, I suppose, because when you
7 straight ALCS.
Yeah, when you want to exactly, dude. And then of course, the scandal. Even after the scandal, I mean, you win the World Series, like Dusty Baker,
They're
and then
due.
After that, it's like Baker retires. Verlander's totally washed up now. Like,
it's funny. We have a lot of conversations on the show about like law of averages being due. My dad last night texted me after Stanton homered, and he's like, he's due for a big season with the contract.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
So it was just funny that he said that. But listen, like I said, it's a good story. New York, the Knicks, like we get it. But there's just something special about Yankee baseball, Tony. And that's just not gonna change. Matthew knows it. Michael Buckta knows it.
I don't know if he knows it, dude.
We're working on it.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing, was it just like a downpour in St. Louis yesterday? Is that why the Mets got rained out?
Yeah.
It was a rain out.
Yeah.
And then did they announce how they're making that
August 5th is the makeup
It's
date.
a common off day.
Yeah.
The travel is going to be a bitch, right, Tony?
So annoying, dude.
Yeah, that's tough.
But and it's also tough too because then they're off today too. So you got back-to-back days.
Cardinals
dude.
have a game. That's why they couldn't make it up today.
Yes.
But yeah, that is annoying, and I definitely would feel the same way. Luckily, I don't have that problem.
Not yet.
And I do like too that the Rangers on at 7, Yankee game starts at 5, so we get a little
Exactly,
Yankee standalone. And who knows? I mean, they might make quick work of Houston, and game might be over as the puck is dropping at PNC
That would be
Arena.
ideal, dude.
So definitely excited for that, Tony. And before we get to the games today, if we could just run through the picks from yesterday just to keep us in line, Tony. Actually, real quick, but pull that up. What's your thoughts though? I know obviously, I'm always talking about it, but I'm just curious your overall take so far. Yankees started the season. I mean, is this pretty much, obviously you wish Garrett Cole was healthy, but other than that, I mean, do you see it as everything going according to plan for the most part?
I mean, I don't know about according to plan, but if you just want to look at it in terms of big picture and what, ideally your goal is to win the World Series this season, I mean, I think you're on the right track. That's for sure. I think, maybe, obviously you probably would have expected Judge to get off to a hotter start earlier
obviously,
on.
Last week,
but I mean,
like
exactly, dude. Hopefully, if he keeps that up, you're all copacetic. I think some of your pitchers, I think Stroman, I think Rodon have been a little bit either just like exactly as you expected them to or better. I think Stroman's been better than I expected him to be. That's for sure.
I mean, I think Rodon most people thought he would be worse. I mean, he had
Yeah.
a 6 ERA last year.
Right,
He's
true
had
that.
some great starts.
And for the most part, I mean, he looks like he's not dealing with any health issues,
Right.
which is
And
great.
velocity's up, hit 100 in Baltimore.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's fucking go. That's huge.
Yeah.
So I would say, yeah. I mean, your lineup's doing pretty well. I actually looking at your team stats too. I mean, Rizzo 6 dingers, batting like 263.
Yeah, he's been heating up.
Like he's been
recently.
heating up, which is great because I know he got off to a slow start. So I mean, I feel like again, like kind of like where you were a little maybe worried in the beginning of the season. People are heating up. The bats are coming around. People thought they would. So yeah, dude. I mean, everything's going to plan.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you've had a couple games, like you think about the Orioles series, maybe the Oakland
Oh,
series
yeah.
at times where you didn't score the way you're supposed to, but I think overall, whole body of work, you've shown you're a good offense. I mean, I have a hard time thinking by the time this year ends that they're not going to be top 5 offense in the league. I mean,
Mhm.
you would widely expect that.
Yeah, and I mean those games too. I mean, like we talk about the ebbs and flows. I mean, there's gonna be some games where you can't score, or your starting pitcher just lays an egg, because that happens during this season. And then in terms of Baltimore, I mean, they're going to be your top competitor. So I understand you want to maybe set the tone early, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's not going to be. It's not going to be sweeping you every time they see you. You know,
Exactly. And you know who agrees with me about Yankee baseball over Knicks in the finals is Bernie. We know he's jacked up for the Yankees.
What's up, fellas?
And
He
he
says,
says, "What's up, fellas? Let's go." So
Yes, Tony. Yes.
So good to have Bernie here as well. And
go Nets.
I'm just really stoked and excited to watch the game later this evening.
the Yankee game, or
Yeah, the Yankee game before he says all about. So he knows
what it's
Bernie
all about? Dude.
copacetic, Tony. Bernie knows the deal.
He does, dude.
Notice ever since Matthew said, "Kev, you're tight."
No response.
No response. And then Bernie says, "The Yankees, LOL." That's right, Tony.
What? Who does that, dude? Why you gotta do that, Bernie? I'm
I
just sitting over
think
here,
it's just
not harming nobody.
wow. Oh, the
Rain out, dude.
Kev's back.
Because Bernie is so sorry. Yes, that's fan. That kick rocks, dude. So funny, dude.
Oh man. But yeah, so we're excited here. But yeah, let's update the picks from yesterday.
That's right.
Starting with you, Tony. So obviously Mets game get rained out, so we'll give you another one.
Oh, today. Let's go.
Today,
Pick
if
4,
there's
yeah.
room, is there? We'll look at
Yeah,
that
let's just
later.
focus on test.
Diamondbacks under, Phillies over.
Phillies lost, and it did go over, so it's 1-1. And then D-backs won, I believe, and the over.
Under.
So
So you're 2-2.
I don't know. Let me see. If that's 7, over under could possibly be 9.5. So under. Let's go. So that's 3-1.
Oh, 3-1. Okay. And then Panthers under, Canucks over. And I think that's
3-1 as well.
3-1. I can't believe the fucking
Dude, the Oilers collapsed last night. Blew it.
when I went to bed. I
Blew
think
it,
was
dude. Yeah.
4-1.
Yeah, it was. Blew it.
But
Blew
we're
it
talking
against a
about
backup tender.
wait, so what is that though?
6-2.
6-2. Okay,
Yeah.
so 33-16. Let me just mark that down before I forget. Tony 33-16. Okay, and then for me,
Was that you? Oh.
nah, not this second. Okay,
You want to answer it and tell them that?
yeah. Okay, so Yankees in the over, which that definitely hit. So that's 2-0.
Oh, yeah.
Pirates in the under. I think the Pirates lost, and it probably went over.
Yeah, it did.
Okay.
I can double check because the other game was 9.5.
So that would be 2-2 if that.
0-2 for the game. So you're 1-2?
No. No, the Yankees in the over hit, so 2-2.
Oh, sorry. So you're 2-2.
And then Padres over. I think that's a 1-1
Padres,
scenario there.
Yeah,
right?
so 3-3.
3-3. Okay. And then Panthers over is 5-3. Oilers over is 6-4.
You had the Panthers winning?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I said, remember yesterday, I literally specifically said, let's not complicate things, Tony. Can't believe you don't remember me
I don't remember
saying
that one.
that. Wow.
I think Michael wasn't here at the time. I was distracted.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what it was. So take everything so seriously. Dude. So that makes me 30-21. So 30-21, and you're 33-16. Extra pick coming.
Today, possibly.
Yeah. And then what do we got for today? What's the allotment here?
There should be plenty of games. 3, 6, there's exactly 7 games.
Okay, so we'll each do 3, and then so you get 4, I get 3.
Yeah.
That's great. So that means it is time for a full-on abbreviated baseball frenzy, Tony.
Let's freaking go, dude. And I will get the picks off starting now here on this beautiful Thursday, May 9th, as I get one more than Brian because of the Mets rain out here. I will not take the Yankees. Interesting enough. Let's go. Oh, my God, dude. So tough. Oh, gosh. I guess I'll go. I mean, hey, man, Sonny Gray was on the pitch yesterday. He's pitching today now, 7:40 p.m. Sonny Gray and the Cards are going to be in Milwaukee, taking on the Brewers, American Family Field, Milwaukee. The home dogs at plus 110, 21-15 there, which is pretty interesting. St. Louis, I guess, is even, actually minus 130 on the money line. Over under 7.5. I think Sonny Gray could pitch a full game shutout, honestly, against the Brewers. Fuck the Brewers right now, dude. I think Christian Yelich just got off the IR, though. Went 0-5 last night, first game back. I don't know, dude. May take him a while to get warmed back up. We'll see why the Brewers are actually taking 3 from the Cards. Obviously, they suck as well. But I'll say Cards win this. Give me the under because there's no scoring at all. I say Cards 4, Brewers 2. Yes.
All right. So 5:05 from Yankee Stadium. We get the pitching
You know the deal.
Between is it Ronaldo Blanco?
Ronell
Blanco and Marcus Stroman. I think this is another Yankee win and another over. I think the bats continue to heat up as Judge, Stanton, and Soto, second straight game, all homering. Blanco's due to get popped, Tony. And the Yankees are going to win this game 10-4. So
wow.
The Yankees and the over.
Wow.
10 in a row.
Wow.
The clean sweep.
Wow, dude. The clean sweep. Next game up here. I just feel like an absolute dumpster fire of freaking games here. I'm looking at 9:38 p.m. What a freaking time to start on FS1 here. The Angels are taking on the Kansas City Royals. The Angels here are even at home on the money line. Kansas City favorite at minus 120. You have Michael Wacha pitching for the Royals, matched up against Reed Detmers of the Angels here. Very interesting matchup. 2 pitchers that I guess have been kind of underwhelming. Wacha with a 5.5 ERA, dude. Dealing with walks, giving up home runs. First time these 2 teams meet. I mean, I know, so tough. Angels on a 2-game win streak. Pirates 2 out of 3. Booed against the Guardians, though. Royals 2 out of 3 against Milwaukee. So tough. Wacha sucks. I don't know, dude. Bobby Witt. Give me Kansas City, I guess, dude. Over under is 8.5. What a dog shit game. Give me the Royals. I'll say they're gonna win this game. It's gonna go over. It's gotta go over. 6-4.
All right, so Royals and the over for number 2 for you. Number 2 for me, Tony. I am going to go with the Seattle Mariners. A good pitching matchup between Logan Gilbert and Pablo Lopez. Gilbert has pitched unbelievable so far, 3-0, 1.69. Lopez has been inconsistent with a 4.30 ERA. I think in this one, though, we do get the pitchers duel that you would expect. But I think the Mariners will win this game with the under. So give me the Mariners 3-2. Go ahead, solo shot.
Wow.
Julio Rodriguez, 9th inning. Mariners picking up the win.
Nice. Another game tonight, 7:40 p.m. in Chicago. White Sox taking on the Guardians. Give me the Guardians here.
White Sox won last night. Michael Kopech, Tony, with the save.
That's great. But Eric Betty, who's I guess 2-0, 3.46 ERA, but still has given up 7 home runs this season. Trouble with the long ball for sure. Talk about being due. White Sox won last night. They're bound to lose tonight. Guardians winning 4 of their last 5 games here. Ben Lively on the dish. 2.08 ERA. bound to fan some batters in the White Sox lineup. And give me a Josh Naylor home run. I don't know, maybe like an equalizer in the 8th inning. Then they come back in the 9th. Who knows? Close it out. White Sox sad. They lose. And I say Guardians end up scoring. Oh, wow. I've been going over a lot in these games. I'll take the over. I'll say 5-3. 5-3. Just at the over there, Brian.
Just at the over. So for me, third game, final game. Give me the Giants over the Rockies playing at Coors Field. That Giant offense due to get going. I can see Conforto and Soler. How about 2 home runs apiece, Tony? Really a shot in the arm for the San Francisco Giant team.
Wow.
They win this game 12-5. So the Giants in the over in a game that contains 17 runs, Tony.
Very, very interesting there. 17 runs. Speaking of 17 runs, let's go to Cincinnati as the Reds take on the D-backs. This is the last game of the day. Only game, last game for me. The extra dude, right? Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, the document split into 2 pages. Yeah, go ahead. Last game, final game. What do you got?
Damn, dude. Hunter Green on the dish for the Reds has been pitching pretty well as of recently. I think went 7 innings against the Rangers, no earned runs. Recently against Slade Ciccione, dude. A 4.96 ERA so far. I mean, I don't know. Hasn't pitched a ton, I guess, this season. I don't know. I would say give me the Reds here. They still went for the D-backs. Hunter Green.
Throwing me off, honestly, for a second. Looks great, though. But I'm saying, like, for a second, I had to, is that Michael? Like, I had to make sure. Oh, Tony doesn't even know how to work a mic.
Sorry. But now?
Tatum?
Oh, no.
Is Buckta here?
Wow.
He's definitely in the house.
Is
For
Tiger
sure,
here?
dude.
Dude, I got the red hat.
Wow.
Wow, the red hat.
Barnes gonna love my outfit.
Wow, dude. I mean, how could you not, dude? Obviously. But back to this last game here. The Reds winning this one. I would say give me the Reds avoiding the sweep here in game 3. They win, I'll say 6-3. So just at the over as well again.
So the Reds in the over.
Reds in the over, buddy.
And just like that, that's your abbreviated, full-on baseball frenzy. Let's go Yankees. And Kev Dew
Still
chirping. Yeah. Guess what? I have a job to do because Bernie is sorry as Nets fans that kick rock. And it says, Matty G, I'm not tight, but the Knicks and Brunson are on unbelievable run. Barnes going to wait to talk about the Yankees and how they beat a diminished Houston team. And it's just like, Kev, I mean, it's like, yes, great win. But not to diminish, but I just think, it's tough times maybe ahead. These injuries are piling up. Not to mention, and listen, none of us here are like any Boston team, but most likely what the Celtics are waiting. I mean, I don't know if it's the storybook ending that everyone's hoping for this year. That's all.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I feel like Rick and Dave, well, I guess not Rick this morning, but Dave was talking about it.
No, but Dan.
But Dan was talking about it, and it was we can get to Dan when you want, dude. They were talking about how Dave thinks it's ridiculous that so many people though are not believing in the Knicks. Like, he knows they're whatever, but
yeah,
with
but
the injuries,
I think it's just one of those things, honestly. And listen, I probably would do this with the Yankees, but I think it's just one of those things deep down. Dave and the rest of the Knicks fans know that. Listen, you're probably going to win this series, but after that, I mean, it's going to be kind of tough to get past that point. And I think that's obvious.
Mm-hmm. But it's interesting because he's just saying how people are it's a lazy take because people are waiting to be like, oh, the Knicks are going to beat the Pacers and they're going to go and lose the Celtics, and then everyone's going to tell you why the Knicks sucked so much. But it's like in reality, like look where they're at.
Right. And it's like, listen, they were the second seed in the East for a reason. But usually in the NBA, you get the 2 best teams, matching up in the NBA finals. And would not be surprised if it's, the Celtics versus either, the Thunder or the Timberwolves.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, most likely, I think that's, what we're going to get.
So now a lot of people too are saying with the Knicks, I know kind of got to some Knicks talk, but like Mike says all the time, how like the reason why the Knicks like why he thinks they're never going to make it. Right, the team they have, the roster they have right now, is because they're a bunch of role players.
See, I don't even think that it's that at this current
Mhm.
juncture. I think it's that too many guys are injured. Like,
Right.
imagine if Randall was healthy. Imagine if Mitch was healthy. Imagine if, Brunson didn't have one ankle, Tony. I mean, I think those are really the biggest factors. And
Right.
that, OG, I mean, it looks like he's going to miss next
Mhm.
game. I mean, that's a lot.
Do you think though, like with everyone healthy, like do the Knicks have like enough star power? Do they have that one star to win the championship? You
Brunson
think?
has been the star.
Like,
but
you
the
think that's that
problem is
star
he's rose into that level this year, but the problem is no Randall.
Injuries?
So, and I know a lot of people don't like Randall. We understand that, but that's a big piece to have.
Mhm.
And some people would say, "Oh, they're probably better off." I think Josh B's mentioned that before.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's an interesting story to watch, and then I think we'll sprinkle in a little Knicks before the end of the show. Bless you. But let's go now to the world of the National Hockey League.
McDavid shoots, pops up, he scores! Captain with the overtime winner! That's the middle break, it's a world-class hit right here. Tomsky stepping, rink Washington made the full split save!
Are you kidding me? Turn, side of the net, between the legs, and they score! Filthy! David Pastrnak,
The silver trophy to the Golden Knights!
All right. So 2 games in the National Hockey League last night. And how about this? The Boston Bruins, bless you. Did you take your allergy medicine today?
No, I ran out yesterday.
Ah,
I know. I gotta get some before golf, dude. I'm gonna.
yeah, you have
Literally,
to.
you would have to drag me off the course if I don't take one today.
Wow.
Like probably, honestly, being
Wow.
out there, the
Yeah,
pollen.
you got it. So the Bruins, they still game 1. Game 2, they get off to a 1-0 lead after the first period. But then unfortunately for Riley, Tony, 6 straight goals by the Panthers to even this series up at 1 game apiece. You had Lorentz, Barkov, Forsling, Luo Stanarin, bless you. Barkov again, his 4th of the postseason, and Montour also with his 2nd goal of the season, a shorty there midway through the 3rd. So nevertheless, a dominant performance that saw Bobrovsky only have to defend 15 shots, stop 14. Swayman had been on fire this postseason, but gave up 4 goals on 23 shots. So they went to Olmark, who gave up 2 more himself. Obviously, the Bruins will be heading back to Boston, but this is what we expected to see from the Panthers, not what we saw in game 1. Do you think that this is what we're going to see for the majority of the rest of the series?
In terms of the outcome, like
Yeah.
Panthers winning, I don't know. It's going to be super tough, to be honest, dude. I mean, I think watching this game last night, dude, the Bruins fucking blew it. Not for nothing, too. I mean, again, we talked a little bit about it before the show started, but that first period, you watch it, Bruins are like significantly outplaying the Panthers, dude. And obviously they score first because of it, which is great. And I mean, they had so many chances too. I mean, you're looking at the speed the Bruins played with in that first period. It is kind of unfortunate looking now at the outcome of this game, because I want to say the Bruins must have like fanned on a few shots, and then Bobrovsky came up with some huge saves. But again, the amount of opportunities that Bruins team had in the first period, you would imagine the game could have been 3-0 after the first period easily. Which again, obviously it would have changed the course of action of this entire game and possibly the outcome. But then second period, I mean, the Panthers just absolutely came out. I don't know if it was the Bruins maybe were playing too fast for their own breaches sort of deal, where they were getting kind of tired. But that second period, the Panthers were a different team. And it definitely started with the Lorentz goal. Earlier on in the second period, I want to say 2 minutes in, I think it was like a deflection goal or something down in front. And literally from there, I mean, the Panthers just started pouring it on. I mean, when you have so much talent to what the Panthers do, I feel like sometimes we forget to, maybe just because it's a Florida team. But Sam Reinhart, obviously we know of because of his stellar year. And he commands, so much attention in the middle of the ice, being the center that he is, that you'll find like Verhaeghe or Barkov, or obviously, or Kachuk rather, open in a slot position or something like that, able to get a one-timer in, or they just have so much space because, the Bruins defense try to cover Reinhart that someone just has enough room to get a shot off. And all of a sudden there's a battle at the net and we see pucks behind the net, like Barkov's goal. I mean, it was like one of those, even a Montour's shorthanded goal. I mean, it was, again, the Bruins absolutely collapsed there, especially as the game went on. I mean, kind of crazy the fact that, they only had 15 shots on goal, like after that first period, and they were like out shooting them like 8-3 after the first period. And they're only having 15 shots. As I said, Panthers really like hyped it up there for the second and third period, getting 3 goals in each period, holding the Bruins to none. I mean, that's like embarrassment level. Like, that's really bad. I mean, like I said, the Bruins really imploded here. And it just was not stopping. They pulled Swayman. I'm pretty sure they pulled Swayman.
No, that's right.
Yeah, they did, right? Yeah, I thought so. After the third period, because he literally gave up a goal maybe with like 3 seconds left at the end of the second, and then gave up another goal within the first minute of the third period. So they pull him, dude. Again, like, it might be just one of those off games. But the way the Panthers just kind of turned it on, and the way the Bruins like reacted just was like not good. Like, it just seemed like the Panthers were already in their heads. And I don't know if you saw, but like fights started to break out.
I did see that.
You do not see fighting in playoff hockey often. But like, Pasternak and Kachuk fought last night, and it was absolutely ridiculous. I don't know if you saw, but Pasternak took a dirty shot to the face.
I like, just, you know what I mean? It was on the second TV. So
Yeah.
It was just kind of.
But dude, it was honestly like that type of play is I would certainly expect to see the physicality the rest of the series. I mean, it's going to get dirtier, I think, especially next game back in Boston. Again, like Florida fans, like getting spit on type of scenario. Like, people are pissed off, dude. Brad Marchand's tight. Everyone's tight, dude. It's not good.
What happens in game 3?
Excuse my sniffling on the mic. Oh, man, so tough. I mean, man, dude. God, Wouldn't Wish is my worst enemy, Brian. I don't know. I want to say, I honestly, deep down in my heart, I say Panthers take it. But I feel like on paper, like if I was to be like a non-biased fan right now, I think the Bruins would win. But I'm going to go with my heart, gut feeling here. Panthers continue that type of level of play, the intensity, tenacity. And then, like, again, like, they bullied their way to a victory, dude. I mean, it really was crazy.
I would not be surprised if the Panthers just went out this series. They're so much better.
So tough. It's going to be so tough.
They were caught off guard. They're going to stick it to the Bruins. Definitely.
Yeah, it's tough, dude. I would imagine it's interesting because, again, like, I mean, watch that first period. Bruins were playing so fast, like faster than you ever seen them play. And I really wonder if maybe it was just like it was too much adrenaline. They were overplaying, overcommitting, and then they were just wiped out by the second period. Because that's what it seemed like, dude, because they were getting run over. And again, like, their reaction even says, like, they didn't know what was happening, dude.
Yeah.
It was like out of their control, which is why they started fighting. Crazy, dude. And Florida piled it on, dude. They played into that too. They're smart. They're smart players. They're players that can get in your head. They use their bodies. They use the physicality, the skill, dude.
You got to be smart.
Gotta be smarter than that, dude, if you want to win in the playoffs here.
Yeah,
so
and I think we'll see that. I think the next game is tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken, in that series. And then the other game from last night, big surprise here.
Big surprise for you, dude.
Oilers get off to a hot start, a 4-1 lead, but end up losing 5-4. And you look at this game, Hyman with a power play goal, a couple minutes in, his 8th, Tony, of the postseason. Ekholm had a goal to make it 2-0, but then Dakota Johnson with his 3rd goal of the postseason a minute into the second. But then the Oilers get goals from Ceci and Hyman to make it 4-1. But Lindholm, before the horn at the end of the second, made it 4-2. And then JT Miller, Zadorov, and Garland all scoring in the third to give Vancouver the 5-4 lead. But I mean, listen, it's a bad collapse. We get it. But I think this is going to be a long series, and I would bet my bottom dollar, Tony, tomorrow that Edmonton is jacked up and shows that they're ready, and that was an abbreviation, and that's not going to continue to happen this series. Vancouver's tough. I know, but I'm saying it's going to be 7. It's going to be 7.
I think it definitely could be 7. But I mean, I don't know, man. You look at this series, and I know I like joke around and stuff, but I still do think that the Oilers are not a totally complete team. Again, offensively, they've really found their own, like with having more like role players that can complement McDavid and Draisaitl, which is great.
I mean, and Hyman is like an MVP.
Hyman's great. Even Evander Kane, produces a lot too.
Nugent
Hopkins, and
Stu Skinner.
Stuart Skinner obviously has been great, playing above his head for sure. But I mean, I don't know, dude. I mean, you look at this, and I know I was a big fan of the Kings this year, but they're the wild card team. All right, like they were an incomplete team as well. I said they were going to be the Oilers. Yeah, I did not expect the Oilers to have so much help, as I said, from other players besides Draisaitl, McDavid, and Hyman, which they have been. Fogel's the other guy who's been scoring a lot for them. But in reality, the Kings, like I said, are a wild card team. It's it's like when you knock out the Golden Knights. They were the last place team in the West, dude. The Kings were just right there with them basically. Now the Oilers are playing, a top team. Coming out of the West. And I mean, I think some of these team stats really show for it. I mean, they only won 36% of their faceoffs. Like that's bad.
You need Vincent Trocheck.
Dire need of Vinny T. You got to start possessing the puck. I mean, how can you look at that and not say that didn't contribute to giving up 3 goals in the third period? If you don't possess the puck, obviously you're giving it up. I mean, that second half of the game, you totally collapsed. It seemed like you were fine with, scoring, and then all of a sudden this backup tender starts shutting you down. The Canucks play some great defense, limit you to 18 shots on net for supposedly the best offense in all of hockey. I mean, you gotta figure it out here. The Canucks are gonna come at you hard. They're gonna play way better defense than the Kings. They have a way deeper team, and you're gonna have to figure out a way to get to their goaltender. And again, Silvis, I forget how you pronounce it. Silovs. I mean, they were debating on putting DeSmith in there in the second period because they were giving up 4 goals.
Mm-hmm.
But they ended up keeping him in, and he didn't even face any more shots after that, honestly. And again, another collapse from another team. Obviously not as bad as the Bruins, I don't think, because they kept scoring kind of, sort of. And they kept it close. But, I mean, still, like 3 unanswered in the third period in a tight game. You can't be doing that in the playoffs. Skinner's got to be better, dude. He gave up a few he shouldn't have. And, again, I understand, the Canucks have a phenomenal offense. JT Miller, I think, started the scoring off in the third.
Yeah.
You got to figure out a way to stop them. You got to get your defense on them. If you want to start winning some games, like you can't. This isn't going to be a series where you can just outscore the other team and not worry about defense. Yeah. Because the Canucks can score just as well as you, dude. And Stuart Skinner. I mean, I don't know. You can't just leave him hanging that much. But we'll see.
True.
We'll see.
And we have a comment from an old friend, Michael Domack, saying, "What's up, guys? Huge Nick win yesterday." 2 questions for Domack. What happened the last time you played golf? And then number 2, have you disposed of the Mets hat yet?
Oh my gosh.
What do you think the 2 responses are going to be on that?
I would say to the Mets hat, no. And the last time
Wrong answer.
Honestly, if he throws that away and doesn't give it to me, I'll be kind of tight.
But he should give it to you.
That's what I'm
all
saying.
You've done for him, and he doesn't need a Mets hat. I mean, it really should not be a conversation. It really shouldn't. That's like me getting a Mets hat for free or something and not giving it to you.
Yeah.
Like, what the?
I know it is crazy because it is. I mean, you bought. You're a Yankee fan. You bought a Mets hat. I mean, it's not like you bought I guess a Phillies hat or a Rays hat, or a Braves hat rather. But regardless, I wonder if he's even worn it since the show. That's a good question, dude.
He better not have, honestly, because I think we kind of made it clear what the right thing to do with that hat is.
That'd be kind of sick. I mean, I'm not going to be like, yo, give me that fucking hat, dude. But I mean, if you're going to get rid of it, I mean, you might as well, dude.
Yeah, seriously.
And I think I think he was texting us the last time he golfed. I think he went to Wheeler, snuck on the other day. What you don't like Wheeler now?
I mean, I think that's. I mean, I think it's a dead heat with Grassy for me, honestly.
Really?
Kind of, yeah. I don't know what it is.
I mean, for me, for Fairchild, I mean, it's just proximity, convenience.
Right. I don't know.
I know it. It's familiar.
Yeah. I guess for me, it's not. exciting. I think that's the problem with it
Mm-hmm.
for me.
You gonna start drinking?
But that being said, it is time for an abbreviated, full-on hockey frenzy.
Let it commence, baby. It is the NHL Frenzy on NHL Thursday, May 9th, baby. Let's get it started. You know the deal. First game up, 7 p.m., Brian. TNT, first game of the series in Raleigh. As the Hurricanes taking on the Rangers, PNC Arena, North Carolina. So much sports going on in Carolina this weekend, dude. Especially if you count both of them. Tickets as low as $114. How about that, dude? Carolina here, minus 165 at home. Kind of expected that, I guess. Over, under is 5.5. We know the deal. The Rangers are up 2-0, looking pretty good. We know the Canes are still competitive. So what do you got happening here tonight?
Yeah, so this is so tough, Tony.
I know.
Last
God
game
damn
was
it.
a battle at the Garden, the double overtime. So, I mean, it just, the Hurricanes are tight. They've lost the first 2 games by 1 goal, by the same exact score. Games where they both had leads, Tony. But I just think this Rangers team just figures out a way to pull out these tough games. And I know conventional wisdom would say Carolina, they're tight, they're at home, they're going to bounce back. But I just think there's magic with this Rangers team. We're going to see that again tonight. I think this is a lower scoring game. Igor with the 54 saves last time out. I don't think he has quite as many this time, but pitches the road shutout. 2-0 Rangers. Igor, 30 of 30 in net, and 2 goals by Vincent Trocheck. Tribute video and all. I believe we'll get Kenny Albert on TV, so maybe we get Sam Rosen back on the radio.
That would be sick.
I hope we get some good bites for tomorrow.
Absolutely love it, dude. So you said your final score?
2-0.
2-0. What's the Rangers and the under? As you said, Brian, this is so tough. I mean, you can imagine the Hurricanes playing desperately, but I do think a few maybe not so usual suspects will be shining bright tonight for the Rangers in Matt Rempe. I got a feeling this game is going to get physical. It's going to get biblical. And Matt Rempe, who we haven't seen score since game 1 of these playoffs, will score tonight, perhaps an equalizer in the third period while he's laying the absolute wood. And then give me... I want to say Capo Caco with an OT winner here. I think this goes to the Rangers' favor, obviously. I think it goes over again. I think higher scoring because of all the physicality and the Hurricanes being tight. Give me the Rangers winning this game 5-4 in single overtime.
If that happens, though, does Kenny run it back on TNT or not?
Oh, yeah. Score! Score!
He scored!
Oh, next game. Let's go, Duke. Final game. Next game. It's Thursday. What is up? We're in Dallas. We know where Brian's going with this one. It's the Stars Avalanche, 9:30 p.m. TNT. Game 2 of the series. Colorado obviously up 1-0 here. Dallas minus 125 here at home. Over under 6.5. The game went 7, I think, on the total last game, by the way. And we know the Avs won. I think you're going to go sweep here. You going sweep?
We're going sweep.
We're going sweep.
We're going Avs hitting the over themselves. 7-2 in Dallas. And we are headed back to Colorado.
I do love that, honestly. I agree with Avs. I agree with the over. I think Stars go down 2-0. I don't think sweep, but it's going to be tough for them to come back from a 2. I don't think they will eventually. Nonetheless, dude, you talk about hat tricks here. Nathan McKinnon. Give me that Hattie Boom Batty, baby. The Avs win this game. I'll say 5-2. 5-2. Avs going back home.
And just like that, that's your abbreviated full-on hockey frenzy. And speaking of Hattie Boom Batty, Josh B, road shutouts. Please be true, LOL. I mean, Josh, you've seen Igor. You've seen the Rangers this season. At the end of the day, would it really be as much of a surprise as the common folk would think, Tony? Because this is what the Rangers have been doing all season against great teams as well.
Yeah, they've been rising to the occasion. If we see an Igor shutout this game, then that's I get the broom, dude. Like that type of deal. Because to hold Carolina to no goals in their own home after like winning the first 2 games in the fashion that we have too, keeping it tight, close, 1-goal games, both 4-3. We shut them out 2-0. Like literally, go home already. Pack your bags. Beat the traffic.
But it's crazy. Like it's that if the Rangers win, and if they don't, then it's the complete opposite, and you're 1 game away from the series being tied back up.
I know it's kind of crazy how pivotal
Swing
game 3s are.
Swing
Yeah, it
game.
really is a crazy swing game. Even being down 2-0, like it's still in the cards to be like, hey, this is easy to come back from.
Unbelievable.
Thank you.
Has this how it's always been for you?
My entire life. It was worse when I was a kid.
But does what do you take? Claritin, Zyrtec,
Allegra, typically.
Allegra, and does that work? Or I know you didn't take any today, but
No, yeah, it normally does. To be honest, when I was like in high school and college, it worked a lot better because Allegra was like a prescription drug.
yeah,
And I think they changed it, whatever. It's just over the counter, more accessible, and it hasn't really worked as well.
watered down. Unbelievable! Wow.
Dude, the pill when I was a kid used to be like this big, and now it's like this tiny now. So like I've tried Claritin and Zyrtec too, but there's no like prescription allergy medication anymore. It's all over the counter stuff, and I think it's bullshit. They because they probably water it down so you buy more and you keep using to make more money. It's a scheme, dude.
It's all a scheme. But at the end of the day, Tony, we just need those 2 New York wins tonight.
For the love of God,
And some impressive scores on the golf course.
Domac MIA, by the way, hasn't even said anything.
Of course.
Like, honestly,
'cause
the hat
He's probably
burning it now.
And what would you say your target for today on the old scorecard is?
101.
101?
101, dude.
Wow.
I would love to see a 101. And again, it's like I'm shooting for 101, but if I'm in the area and I'm feeling it, I'm like under 100, I'd be ecstatic.
We talk a lot about like out of your seat. Like what is like completely out of your seat? Like is that a 95? Is that like
95?
You're
I'd be
calling
jumping.
everybody.
Yeah.
Like,
Mom, score!
No, I'm saying, you think if the Rangers get to where we want to get, like that would be like featured on like the season recap DVD as like one of the top goals of the postseason?
Yeah, has to, dude.
Good old Kenny Albert.
Vinny T.
When it comes down to Kenny, I mean, where are like you love him? Like, where are you with like how do you think of him as an announcer? Obviously.
I mean, I guess like I never had a problem with him.
Yeah.
He's always been entertaining. You talk about someone bringing enthusiasm and
right,
energy to a broadcast. This is exactly what he does.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
you think he's kind of?
No. I was curious. I could see someone being like, I mean,
I don't think it's too much.
No. I could just see someone saying like that he's kind of a chief. I like him, but I'm just saying, like, just like the way, like his announcing style. I don't know if he gets it from Marv or what it is, but it's different.
What like he's never done football or anything, right?
No, he does NFL on Fox.
He does NFL
Yeah.
on Fox, but then he's done basketball as well.
Well, he fills in for the Knicks,
Right.
and then
So he is all over the place.
yeah, exactly. So he does national hockey, and then fills in for the Rangers as well.
That's pretty crazy. I feel like you don't see that often with commentators.
No, and usually it's like the older breed
Right.
of commentators, like Vince Scully and
Mhm.
Al Michaels and John Sterling.
Yeah.
I mean, people forget John Sterling was the voice of the Atlanta Hawks.
It was just
When
crazy.
Dominique Wilkins was there, Tony. So I mean, that's going back a ways.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. So interesting stuff, but so pumped for the game tonight. And just for our Knicks fans out there, Tony, let's go to the world of the National Basketball Association.
LeBron James at the buzzer. He banks in the three, and the Lakers win the game.
All right. So the only game on the hardwood last night, we briefly mentioned it in the open and with the Kev Duke comments. 130, 121. The Knicks are racing. I believe it was a 10-point halftime deficit
That's
here. So and it's funny too. You think, oh, I mean, the Pacers scoring 120. They should easily win this game because you think the Knicks need to win a lower scoring game, but not the case. The Pacers showing no ability to play defense, and the Knicks winning this one despite Halliburton dropping 34. Obi Toppin with the revenge game off the bench, 20
Michael
points.
loves that.
He does. But in all seriousness, because I know it seems like I'm giving Knicks fans a hard time here. I will admit that I do see why the fans are so excited, because it's just like they keep like rising to the occasion, and when you watch the game, the atmosphere is electric. The players are so jacked up. It's just amazing too what the Villanova 3, Tony, has done with Brunson, with Hart, and DiVincenzo. So you see why they're excited, but you just have to question. And like next game, like you're gonna have to replace 28 points from OG, and then the fact too that Brunson, most likely will play, but isn't going to be 100%. So how does that play in Indiana? That's what you kind of have to think about.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's definitely gonna be tough. You would imagine Brunson's that type of player, even though he is hurt. I mean, he's probably gonna still, I feel like, drop 35, like
probably,
honestly. But like you said, replacing Anunoby is gonna be really tough, dude. And again, as someone, for a team like the Knicks that doesn't rely on your bench players a ton, like unlimited bench players, really. It's tough when you lose a starter, especially a big one like Anunoby. So yeah, I mean, certainly a reasonable concern to have. I mean, again, but you want to think like, oh, like people talked about when Randall wasn't going to be healthy for the playoffs. What are they going to do without Randall? And
right, but it's
here we go.
compounding.
Dude,
You
but
lost
exactly,
Bogdanovich already.
and
like,
again, Robinson too is out.
Yeah.
And it's like, again, like you think each time, what are they gonna do? What are they gonna do? What are they gonna do? And they've been still winning, but like I think this could be the straw that breaks the proverbial camel's back here.
Mhm.
But again, time will tell. Like you said, Pacers did not play much defense. I think I was watching this game, like you said, down by 10, going into the third quarter. I look up, all of a sudden they're up by 6.
Yeah.
I'm like, it really is a quick turnaround. They do a great job at pushing the floor, and the amount of, I guess, conditioning at this point is pretty impressive, I think, for the Knicks players. We talked about it, the pace, if the Knicks could keep this up here, the amount of minutes they're all playing. And again, you want to say, you still see Brunson in the fourth quarter, just absolutely kill. I mean, his moves are so silky smooth, dude. He's just on target every time. For anytime he's like double teamed, he has a little step, turnaround jumper, and it's just like cream, dude, right in the net. He's got the touch, and again, he scores a lot because of it. He's a great leader on offense. I guess you gotta ask more out of him, out of Hart, out of DiVincenzo, which is I guess tough to ask for
when they're playing 90.
I was just gonna say, I mean, Hart played 48. He played the whole game, dude.
Yeah.
DiVincenzo still to 44 minutes. Brunson's still 32 with being out an entire quarter. Like, what are we doing over here, man? It is going to be super tough, I think. And, but it's so tough to doubt the Knicks, though, to be like, oh, this is going to be it. Again, in the back of my head, I'm like, this is it. But I wouldn't be surprised if they still come out game 3 and win, or at least keep it tight to show like, hey, like we can figure this out even with our injuries. But I guess my question to you, Brian, is again, I feel like the narrative of the Knicks, of a lot of their team, a lot of this team coming to the playoffs, is the amount of minutes each player has been playing, and has Thibodeau been overworking them? And again, in terms of longevity and stamina, it seems like he hasn't been. But I mean, do you think some of these injuries are because of fatigue? Like, I didn't know his injury. What I didn't see it.
I don't know.
Sorry, look it
up. But I'm
because
sure,
obviously, like Robinson got hurt because of Joel Embiid.
Yeah, I'm sure some of that has to definitely, play into it. I think that's a certainty. Anytime you're overworking yourself, you're going to be, more susceptible.
I know he was the hamstring, right?
Oh, okay. Right.
On like the breakaway.
Yep. Those are tough.
Those are tough, dude.
Yeah, I think they're going to announce something about today, but you'd expect him to be out. But I mean, listen, I think the Knicks win the series if they split in Indiana, and I think they probably will. So it's just a matter of who's going to be playing by the time they most likely play the Celtics in the
Right.
conference finals. And speaking of the Celtics, they're back on the hardwood tonight, facing off against the Cavs, 13.5-point favorites after I believe it was a 25-point dismantling of
Correct.
Cleveland in game 1. Have to say with that spread and those odds, almost kind of tempting to go Cavs here. You know what I mean?
Really?
I think overall, it's
Like Cavs
Fivers
cover.
or win.
Wow.
Overall, I think Celtics win 5 or 6, but I just think there's something to when like the numbers that big. Tony, how many times do we see it?
I mean, interesting. I feel like if Domac was here, he'd be like,
Oh,
well,
he'd
I
have
mean,
his
game
Mets hat.
1,
He'd have his
120,
Mets hat on.
95 with the Mets hat on. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
But I mean, again, like you're right. I mean, I feel like you are right with that. When we see numbers like that,
Yeah.
a big game with a large deficit win here, and then the big spread, a lot of times teams don't show up. And again, historically, Celtics choking. But I think at TD Garden, dude, I don't know, man. It's so tough. I mean, the Cavs, for me, I just don't believe in them that much.
Mitchell, Greenwich, Michael. No.
The new Donovan Mitchell Center of basketball for kids? I don't think so, dude. I would pick the Boston
To cover. Burned at the stake if you're wrong.
Oh my god, dude. I would say they don't cover,
See, that's what I'm saying.
but they
right?
win by 8.
Right. But I'm gonna just go for it. Like I said, I think Celtics probably
Money
honestly
line.
win
Bird of the stake, money line.
5. Bird of the stake money line. Yep. Not bird of the stake, but that would be my pick. I think they catch him off guard. Maybe Mitchell has 40, Tony. So that's my pick there. And then the late game, the Thunder the Thunder won pretty handily in game 1. Do they go up 2-0 against Luka and Kyrie here in Oklahoma City?
I know, kind of crazy that we're talking about that. I would have thought that the Mavs won game 1, but I think they. I mean, it's tough, dude. I mean, I've been hammering the Mavs. I thought they were going to win game 1, like I said,
Or the title as well.
and the
Michael?
title, dude. Michael thinks he knows a thing or two.
Luka Doncic comeback game, looking at Shea, saying, "You're not him. I am him. I'm Team Jordan. You're not." 50-point triple-double. Kyrie, 35.
Any winning?
I'll second what Mike says, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, obviously,
And
dude, has to
also, the Knicks lose in Indiana, they're in trouble.
be. You think they will?
Yes.
Especially
Especially with Rick Carlisle making all those complaints.
But the refs?
Yeah.
So, wait.
Small
so-
market team.
I know that's such bullshit. So
Yeah.
you think the refs are gonna start throwing some calls their way next game?
I mean,
almost.
I don't know, but there's no way that doesn't mess with the psyche, Tony. Of the
Dude,
ref.
Why do the refs like suck in the NBA, dude?
They're
What
weak,
is the deal
But
with
they're
that,
weak
dude?
If
The
you're,
gambling, the persuasion,
yeah.
dude. Like, how are they so affected?
well, that's why the NBA has some problems, Tony, right?
Damn, dude, it's
Uh,
tough.
But I will, I'm a little skeptical, but I will agree with you guys with the Mavs here to even up the series at 1. This is probably going to go 7. But the Mavs did not look good the last game, but obviously looked great in the first round. So it'll be interesting to see. And then also in Myrtle Beach, Tony, Sam Ryder and Davis Thompson have picked up another shot under par here
Let's
to
go,
both
dude.
be 6 under through 12. So leading this tournament, Bo Hostler, a Tony favorite, 1 shot back at 5 under. Our guy Joel Damon, last time I checked, was 1 under par, tied for 26th, and I don't know if he picked up a shot or what the deal is. In a way, Tony, kind of nice to have this alternate tournament with the other one being in a weather delay.
Yeah, that is kind of crazy that we're able to do that. Dude,
Joel bogeyed, so he's back to even. What do you think it is with Joel at the end of the day? I mean, is it the work ethic, the hashish, the drinking? I mean, why do you think it's just such an inconsistent performance?
I feel like it would be that. It would be the extracurriculars,
Yeah, he just
around being a
can't-
professional golfer.
It's like, it's enough. I make enough. So I'm
Right.
not going to put in a lot of effort. type of thing.
Exactly,
I'm going
which-
to Reds.
I mean, I don't, you don't blame the guy. I mean, hey, man, I mean that you're a
The
professional
finer
golfer,
things in
dude.
life,
Yeah,
Tony.
dude. It's like, hey, I'm cool with this. I don't need any more. I'm
Yeah.
happy, and I'm
Yeah.
happy that he's happy. So, hey, man, if he wants to do that, there you go. Just don't bet on him, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. So Wells Fargo should be resuming in about 45 minutes here. So, round one is going to definitely leak into tomorrow. But we will have a full round one recap tomorrow. So let's see what happens there. And then really, I mean, other than that, Tony, I mean, I think we're pretty much where we need to be, right?
Yeah, I would say we're exactly where we need to be. Set up for success today, may I add. And literally, I mean, it's gonna be a time tonight, dude. Like golfing in the Rangers game.
Let's
Let's go
with
dude.
the Yankee win sprinkled in there. I know Kev's
Hopefully.
tight. But listen, some things just have to happen.
So, like, let's say we're done golfing. Yankees. I guess maybe at that time, let's say they're in the 9th inning. What time is the game? 3, 4?
5.
Oh, 5. Oh my God. So
they're gonna be like in the
7th inning.
probably.
Okay. So let's say there's 7th, 8th inning, maybe game's going quick. Tie game.
Final game.
Rangers start.
I mean, there's multiple TVs, Tony.
Yeah, but like let's say there's one TV.
But there's not.
No, but let's just say there's one TV.
Or
Or how about there's multiple TVs, one that's biggest
but you
and
know what it
has
is?
audio.
That's just not the case, though. I'm just,
I mean, yeah, Matt TV's only one has volume, right?
I mean, obviously, typically you're gonna go, if that was really a situation, which is not, thank God. You go with the playoffs. I get it. But it's nice that you don't have that problem. So that's that, Tony.
All right. I just wanted to see what
Jeremy
your answer would be, dude.
Schaap.
Jeremy Schaap, dude. Just a little what if, dude. Josh B.
But yeah, gonna be a great afternoon. Can't wait to talk about it with all of you guys tomorrow. And we really appreciate everybody who tuned in today. It continues to comment, like, and subscribe. All of the archives on the YouTube page, Tony, Michael, Renee, and Jay and Costume, the merch at downtimetv.com. We want everybody to enjoy the day, enjoy the games. Let's go Rangers! Yankees! And we will see you mañana.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.